Yo, what is going on, guys? Winner Kills here, and welcome to a brand new locals feature match. Here we are in round 1 for the week, and we've got a matchup for you today. We've got Purrely on the right, piloted by my friend John, versus Swordsoul on the left, piloted by my friend Andy. John was in from out of town. You guys have seen him on the channel before, Mr. John Javer, and yeah, he was out of town, back at locals. Happy to see him. Unfortunate to see him on the Purrely deck, you know, because he's played some cool decks in the past, and I was a little disappointed, but, you know, it is what it is, right? So we're going to see him set up a couple copies of Branded Loss as extra Monster Zone markers, and we're going to see him get started here. Swordsoul wins die roll, and that had to be the world's fastest Ash Blossom on Ecclesia I've ever seen. I mean, that's just basic tech play, I guess, against Swordsoul. You see them normal summon Ecclesia as their first thing, as their first action, and they activate the effect, and you have Ash, you better Ash that Ecclesia. That's just basic rules of Yu-Gi-Oh! Might as well just be in the rule book. Luckily for our Swordsoul player, though, they do have some kind of follow-up. It's in that of Long Yun discarding it Hara, getting access to Qi Xing, Long Yun, Sinister, Long Yun, which, I mean, fair enough. If they knew what the opponent was on in advance, you know, maybe that's a better call than just going for Baron outright. They're going to go ahead and activate the Sleepy Memory, though, and they're not going to chain Qi Xing Long Yun in response to that, which I guess I get. They're also not going to use Qi Xing Long Yun in response to the Purrely. Instead, they're going to go ahead and use Imperm on it, which I guess also makes sense. I mean, technically they could have done Qi Xing Chainlink 1, Purrely Chainlink 1, Qi Xing Chainlink 2, Imperm Chainlink 3. That way it gets the body off field, but then they've just used 2 interruptions on one card, essentially, which is really unfortunate. And they have the normal summon of Purrely, which does get them My Friend, which would be something you would want to, you know, hit with Qi Xing. That'd be a great thing to banish and burn for 12. And now they're going to use Purrely effect to go ahead and Xyz into Beauty with that Pretty Memory there. And that can pretty much just check outright the Qi Xing. Yeah, they're going to try to attempt to banish it, and they're just going to use its Imperm-like effect to go ahead and negate, and they're also going to just attach it to it as material. So Qi Xing plus Imperm completely outed right there. Maybe ending on Baron would have been the go-to play. I mean, I feel like... Qi Xing, you also have to look at it this way. Qi Xing is 2 interruptions where Baron is just 1. But Baron is 1 interruption that stops a card outright and is also potential follow-up on the next turn, which could be important if you had a very weak opening. I don't know if any what I just said just makes sense at all, but maybe it does, maybe it doesn't. We're going to see them resolve the My Friend. I think they revealed 2 Sleepies, and I think that was a Delicious. And if, you know, math makes sense, I guess, and it's most likely that he got a Sleepy, and it looks like he did. So now they're going to go ahead and activate Happy Memory, and then they're going to go ahead and chain the Beauty to attach, and they will discard that Sleepy in hand to go ahead and special summon, and they're going to go ahead and summon a Purrely from the deck, and could see them use Purrely effect here to go ahead and grab that Sleepy Memory out of grave. And that's going to go right into Baby Noir. And they're just going to go into the battle phase and swing in with the Beauty and the Baby Noir, dropping them down to 5,400. And now they're going to make Big Noir and Zeus with Downward. So that is just, yeah, that's just game right there. Nothing else to say. And we are going to go into game 2. Kind of an unfortunate opener for Swordsoul there. Really not many other extenders to work with there through that Ash Blossom. Ash isn't really a typically high impact card against Swordsoul, but there are some hands where it just actually is an extremely high impact card. And that happened to be one of those hands there, as evident by that end board. So we're going to see Swordsoul go first, and this is another telltale sign of when you want to Ash Swordsoul, is if they lead with Emergence. Ashing that, putting them on Have a Name plus a reveal, especially if it's something like Moe. And they do. A normal Moe reveal Taya. So they know they have that tie in hand for follow-up. And, I mean, they also opened 2 normal summons, which isn't the greatest, but I mean, that is just Swordsoul. And Chi Zhao will resolve here, being chain blocked by Moyi, so they'll get a draw 1 and a search of any Swordsoul cards. So we'll see what they add here. They're going to add Blackout. And hopefully this means they already have something like Longyan already in hand. We know they would have the discard for it, and that of Taya, although getting rid of Taya is a little risky because there goes your follow-up. And it's also on them right now was whether or not they want to respect Nibiru, is that is a card that is not really super main deck heavy right now, but is definitely in the format in the side deck. And speak of the devil, there it is. That is going to just come down and absolutely wreck the Swordsoul end board. And yeah, Ash Nib, it's one hell of a combo to have. I mean, if you got it, you got it, right? So there goes everything. The only thing right now that they could have that would allow them to keep playing is like 2 Tenyis, like Ashina and a Tenyi. And unfortunately, they do not have that, so they're going to be forced to set 2 and pass. We know Taya is in hand. Unless they discarded it off the Longyan. I might have missed that. But they're going to pass. Purrely's going to lead with the field spell, which is already going to make things a little bit more difficult. And we're going to see an anti-spell on resolution of field spell. I'm a little curious as to why that wasn't shotgunned in like the draw phase or the standby phase. I mean, all the Purrely spells are quick plays, so it's not like you're shutting them off anyways. I mean, they might be able to fire off 1 quick play spell. They definitely could chain more, but that means they're going to have to discard a lot of cards. And then anything they're searching after that is completely useless. So My Friend is useless. Anything they might get off of Purrely is going to be, or off of Purrely is going to be useless. So I think that might have been a bit of a misplay there, because now anything they summon this turn, that special summon this turn, cannot be targeted outright. And that's going to be kind of tough. I mean, they also can just get into the beauty anyways, which is going to allow them to just take the anti-spell regardless, tributing off the nib to go ahead and attach the anti-spell. That's pretty huge, allowing them to resolve this My Friend. So maybe just Purrely just never cares about anti-spell anyways, and that's kind of unfortunate. And I mean, I guess that's where D-Barrier would be a little bit better. D-Barrier Call Xyz probably just kind of makes it a wrap, honestly. And they're paying 500 for the My Friend. Mi Amigo Purrely here deciding what 3 cards they want to go ahead and reveal. Although I would imagine the game is probably pretty close to being over at this point. And it looks like they're going to go ahead and take a good little time here to figure out which cards they want to grab off the My Friend. Looking at 3 copies of Purrely, so they're going to value grabbing an extra body here instead of a extender. So they'll go ahead and add that, offer the cut. And it looks like they have one other Purrely spell in hand. I can't tell exactly what it is from this angle. So they're going to go ahead and normal summon Purrely, activate effect. Well, it looks like they're thinking on summon. Looks like they're going to go ahead and use Effect Veiler. I mean, that's fair. I think that's fair, honestly, because the Purrely field spell only protects monsters that were special summoned that turn. And that was obviously just normal summoned. So now they're going to link off the Purrely into Relinquished Anima. And that can go ahead and clear what is a potential roadblock for the Purrely deck, since you cannot attach tokens as materials to an Xyz monster, so they need some way to get over that. And they'll just go ahead and attach it. They've activated that Pretty Memory twice now, so they're up to 10,000. And they're going to go ahead and suck up the other set, which is a Blackout. Yeah, so they must have discarded the Taya for that long in there. Little unfortunate, because now they don't have any follow-up, and they are just top decking, having to deal with Noir, which is going to be getting a draw 1, because yeah, they're going to use that field spell in the end phase to attach a Sleepy, no doubt. And of course, the My Friend is just chilling there. That's free resources next turn. Looks like they're not going to grab Sleepy, they're going to grab Delicious. So it is now gaining a lot of attack as well for every material. And now it's like there's no top deck in the game that gets past this, so they'll just draw and immediately pass. They're going to need more than one card here to get through this. They're going to need to like draw a Kaiju and have Taya. And even then, the Kaiju getting rid of the Noir will allow them to gain a bunch of cards back off of the My Friend. And looks like, speaking of My Friend, they're going to start their turn off by activating it, revealing 3 Sleepy, grabbing that to the hand here. And now they're going to activate the Sleepy, discarding a Book of Moon that they feel as though they don't need anymore at this point. Because, I mean, you've got Noir on board. What else could you ask for? So they'll grab a Purrely off that Sleepy memory. That's going to grab Yeep. So they're just setting up even more here. And then they're going to use Purrely effect to grab the Noir, or the Sleepy out of grave. That's going to grab a Baby Noir. And they're going to switch the Big Noir into attack. And just swing in with that. And then they'll go ahead and set the Yeep. End phase. The Streets will go ahead and attach a Sleepy to the Baby Noir. And they'll pass turn. Draw for turn. Offer a cut. And standby phase will roll around where they'll get to draw 2 cards. And then they're going to go ahead and Yeep into a second Noir. And draw 2 more cards. So now they've got double Noir. Enough spins available to spin back their entire deck for the next 3 years. And yeah, they got Taya and Vessel. It's just not what they needed there. They needed a hell of a lot to get past that, and I just don't think there was a world where it was happening. So we're going to see Purrely take it 2-0 there over Swordsoul. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, be sure to drop a sub and a like if you haven't already. And last but not least, a big shout out goes to our current Divine level channel members who are Misfit, H8 Cyber, Cadillacs, Pony Stark, and Green. Thank you guys so much as always for extremely kind and very generous support of this channel.